And I think this is one of the most exciting opportunities that we have ever presented to our group of London realtors around the world. And people seem to be going gaga for it. And I'm going to explain exactly why. What I'm going to talk about tonight is a place that I've been visiting for the past 5 years. And quite frankly, I've fallen in love with the place. I've fallen in love with the possibilities, with the future, with the culture, with the vibe, with the citizens, with everything about it. And quite frankly, what I'm talking about is a place called Dubai. Now, that probably sounds strange to you, right? We're talking about a country that is actually younger than me, right? If you think about it, it's actually younger than me. It was established in 1971 after I was born. And in many ways, it's probably the last place you would think some kid born in California would want to go. But in fact, it's the first place I want to go. And I'm actually counting the days. I'm going to arrive there in about 18 days. And I'm going to spend many months there because what I'm going to be doing is sourcing opportunities for all of you on the ground. And it's a really exciting place to be. It's a place that I really love, and I'll tell you more about it as well. Also, all my kids love it, and they love going there, and they're pumped to go. And actually, my daughter, for the first time ever, who's now at Boston University, she's going to go over the holidays as well. And I can't wait to show her what I think of it. Again, it's the opposite of all the stereotypes you've been taught, right? Everyone says, "Oh, it's bad for this and this isn't." And no, it's actually the opposite of what you've been told. And so I really can't wait to show my daughter this brand new world that I've fallen in love with over many, many years. And of course, last night when I was talking to her, she said, "You know, we're going skydiving, don't you?" And so I'm like, "Okay, great." So yeah, I told my boys that I invited my boys to go, but they quickly reminded me that they were too young to skydive. And I guess they're right. I mean, technicalities, kids these days. So maybe give them a pass, but probably you'll see myself and my 22-year-old daughter jumping out of a plane soon. So wish us luck. Of course, it's a better way to get a look at the incredible real estate possibilities. And that's why I'll be doing it. And that's why I'll be expensing that jump as well. So we're looking for it. If you don't know what I'm talking about, I don't blame you. I'm going to jump into it right now. Last chance to turn cameras on. That's for people like you, Patrick. Martini has a bad habit of throwing people out of this room, but you can't see your beautiful faces. Also, if your name is Zoom attendee, if your mama named you that, I feel bad for you. And if not, if you hit the 3 dots on the upper right-hand corner, you can actually put your real name in there. And we like that as well. But if your name is Zoom attendee, well, there's worse things that could have happened to you in life. That's for sure. And we welcome the attendee clan that you come from. So let's jump in here to this presentation. This is literally hot off the presses. I've actually been working on it for the past 2 days, but I stuck the finishing touches on it this morning because I'm just kind of going crazy with this. I'm really kind of obsessed with what we've been doing lately, and I want to share you a little bit about it. So hands up if you can see this really happy looking guy sitting behind what looks like some amazing, amazing properties, right? Yeah, amazing. And you can see, by the way, on the right, that's the Burj Khalifa. That is the tallest building in the world, and it's been there since kind of 08, 09. Nobody has built anything taller than that. So here you've got a tiny little country that most people have never been to and very few people heard of 10 years ago that has boasted the tallest building in the world for coming up on what, 17 years. Now, I know a few members of the government there, and they've told me that a couple countries are trying to build a taller building. And they said maybe Saudi Arabia is thinking about trying to top them. And I'll tell you a secret of what they said. They said, "Brian, we've got another building that we can build in 2 years that will top anything they top. So we're just waiting for somebody to try to build something a little taller." And he said, "We're just going to crush them. But until that happens, we're not going to do anything. We're just going to let it sit out there and wait." So no surprise, in Dubai, they have a long-term plan. And that's what I love about this country. It's run by the royal family who's got 100-year vision. And so they make great decisions for the future. And quite frankly, they run the country like a business. After every interaction you have with the government, it actually asks you a survey. How did we do? How can we do better? Everything is digitized, everything. And it's just incredible. Compare that to the modern governments of America and the UK, and it makes, honestly, us countries look like some third world countries comparatively. So I'm getting off topic. Let me jump into today's headline, and that is that Dubai luxury property prices boom as $10 million home sales surge over 54%. Now, this is talking about a specific market sector. These are homes over $10 million. Okay. Now in Dubai, you get a little more for your money than you do in the major cities like Miami and New York City and London. You don't get that much more. So, we're talking about some pretty nice houses. In London, you can find homes for over 10 million bucks. But there's not that many of them. Okay. You might find a home for 50 million, maybe 100 million home. But, this is a pretty high range. And of course, the home sales have surged over 54%. This is going to tell us something that we already know is true, is that Dubai is where the wealthy and pretty much everybody else is headed, because that is the future. And a lot of people are picking up from their native countries of the United States, of the UK, of Russia, of wherever, and moving there because it's a place that they prefer for so many reasons. So I want to talk to you today about how you can learn how to make 40 to 90% returns. And that's everything that we're doing behind the scenes with the Luxury Property Investment Circle. Folks, before we get started, I just want to say this presentation, it's for information purposes only. It's not intended to be an investment advice. If you are looking for that, please go find a professional. Also, I want to give you a free video, which is going to show you how to invest in luxury Dubai real estate in 3 easy steps. I'll give you the link to that video at the very end of this presentation. We should be there in about 30 minutes or so, so just hang tight. I'll give you that link. You can have it for free, and you can go watch that video afterwards, and hopefully you can learn something about what we're doing. First of all, who am I? Who is this guy talking to you? Well, a lot of you probably know who I am, but just as a quick reminder, I spent 15 years on Wall Street. I actually graduated from MIT in 93, and I drove a big white van with all my stuff, which included like a futon and nothing else, from Boston to Manhattan, and I started my job on Wall Street. I spent 15 years in the world of finance. I first moved to Chicago and worked at the First National Bank of Chicago. I moved to London. I spent time in Tokyo. Pretty much in all the financial markets of the world. I traded pretty much every financial instrument, from stocks to bonds to commodities, you name it. And I learned a lot about money and finance. And I made a ton of money for the banks and the brokerage firms that I worked at. Then back in 2011, as you all remember, I walked away from it all and I started to become a YouTuber, right? And so for the last 14, coming up on 15 years, I've now spent my time interviewing over 1,000 of the smartest people in the world. Some of the greatest minds on the planet, some that are quite good at money and real estate. People like Robert Kiyosaki, author of Rich Dad, Poor Dad. Does anybody know Robert Kiyosaki? Yeah, he's just one of my favorites. He's a good friend of mine. He texts me all the time. He's on Arizona time, so I get these texts like really early in the morning sometimes. I love it. People like Grant Cardone. He was on the show last week. We were talking about his $5 billion real estate empire. He's getting into crypto. I said, Grant, what took you so long? We've been here for 5 years. He's like, yeah, Brian, I'm just catching up to you. And also people like Dan Pena, the $1 trillion man, and many, many more. And they also taught me more about financing and investing and how you can use your mindset to create generational wealth for yourself in a short amount of time than it takes most people. And of course, the last 5 years, I've been studying Dubai up close and personal. I originally went to Dubai to invest in blockchain projects, and we've now invested almost $25 million into those projects with 150 of our members here at London Real, with some tremendous successes. And all the while, I was watching the real estate because, quite frankly, you can't go to Dubai and not look at the real estate. Every time you open your eyes, you see the tallest building in the world. You see man-made beachfront property in the Palm Jumeirah. You see a 7-star hotel called the Burj Arab. You see another beautiful hotel called the Royal Atlantis. I think it's the most beautiful hotel I've ever seen in my life. I just get giddy when I go into that lobby. It's so beautiful. And it goes on where I stay, the Address Beach Resort. It's one of my most favorite places in the world. And it goes on and on and on, and they're building more and more and more. And so it's a place that you kind of can't avoid looking at the real estate. But now I've finally found a way to partake in that and to allow people like you to do the same. And so what I want to do is open up really a rare doorway into a private world, because I learned one thing on Wall Street: access is everything. Getting in on the right deal is the hardest thing to do. And normal people like you and me, we don't get access to the big deals. You got to be a Jared Kushner, or you got to be, in the Trump family, or you got to be in these places. And then you get access to deals that make you boatloads of money. You have to be an accredited investor to get access to all these big AI projects, or to get in on SpaceX and these things. But for normal people, it's actually very hard. And so what we've been doing is changing that here at London Real and London Real Ventures over the past 5 years. And that's exactly what we're doing in luxury real estate as well. So why Dubai? Well, first of all, it's the #1 destination for global wealth migration. Now, I don't know if you've heard recently, but the West is in decline. And they call the country I'm in right now Broken Britain. And they did a survey of all the people who left Britain, all the billionaires and the millionaires and everything, because they raised the taxes last year and made it harder for people who were born in other countries to live here and keep their wealth from being taxed. And they all left. Some went to Milan because Dubai has some favorable tax treatment. Some people went to America. Some people went to Thailand. But the majority of the Brits that left went to Dubai, right? They actually went to this place because this is a no-brainer. 0% personal gains tax. If you want to bring your company with you, it's 9% corporate tax, not 90 like in France, 9%, right? And again, it's this total melting pot. It is an extremely safe place and it's an extremely tolerant place. So that's why people are going there. Number two is there's a severe shortage of what we call turnkey luxury supply. What does that mean? Well, that means that I can move my family of 6 from London or Moscow or Kiev or Tel Aviv or New York City or Miami or Los Angeles into Dubai, into a beautiful home, and it's ready to go, right? Now, I'll be honest, one of the hardest parts of moving to Dubai is selling your family on moving to Dubai. Does that make sense? Everybody here, right? And so what you need is something that goes in. If you have to say, honey, we're going to go to this crazy place in the desert that's, it's got Iran across the water and, don't worry, everything's going to be okay. And then you tell her we're going to have builders around for 12 months. It's not going to go over well. So what wealthy people want to do is they want to buy something that's done. I don't want to have to worry about it. I want it to be gorgeous. I want it to be able to be Instagrammable from the day my family walks in there. And there's a severe shortage of this. So we are actually tapping in to a lack of supply in the market. And then finally, Dubai is a market built for high performance returns. As I mentioned before, in addition to the lack of personal tax and corporate tax, there's zero capital gains tax. Let me repeat that, zero capital gains. In the UK, there's something called a stamp duty, which means on property, not only do you pay capital gains, you also pay this huge chunk of money, like 4% of the transaction, to the government every time you sell it. It's honestly insane when you think about it. It's got rapid economic growth. The city of Dubai is growing, I think, by 300,000 people every, I don't know, it's like every half a year. It just grows and grows and grows. And of course, you have these cash-rich international buyers because it really is kind of the new Switzerland. It's where people go with their money when they want to be protected. What is a luxury transformation? Well, over the last 5 years, I looked at lots of aspects of the property market. There are these big developments that come up. There are these things called off-plan developments where you buy something before it's ever built. It's more speculative. And there's people that try to buy a house and flip a house. Honestly, sounds like a big pain in the butt to me. And so a luxury transformation is a simpler way of taking advantage of this rising market. It's a targeted upgrade of a premium property. For example, I go out to the Palm, which is that man-made island that looks like a palm, and I buy one of those houses. They're 20 years old now. They're dated. And if you're just normal people, it's gorgeous. But if you're used to ultra luxury, it looks a little tired. And you buy that thing and you use the cheapest labor in the world to make it better. It takes 12 months, 18 months, sometimes even less. And all of a sudden you can flip it for a serious premium. That's the niche that we are focusing hard here. Why? Because it's got big returns and it's got quick turnaround times. Let me repeat that. Big returns and quick turnaround times. By the way, both of those are linked. If I can double my money in 12 months, it's much better than doubling my money in 36 months. It goes from 100% profit to 33% profit. So the turnaround time is what we really want. And again, it's designed to match exactly what the global buyers want. Now, we've got a strategy to build to unlock this significant value fast. And again, that is, we've got a whole team that goes in. We've got award-winning architects that actually come from a lot of times in LA and New York City. And that's how we can get these high-performance returns. So again, I'm being very specific here. We're not just going in to buy the property that they sell to the masses. We're going for very specific deals that have a track record of success. Folks, I want to share with you a video here that probably does a better job than I have here of explaining what the opportunity is. This is just about 60 seconds, but hopefully it's going to show you really a little bit more of what the opportunity is as opposed to me just telling you about it. Also, I'm curious if anybody here has been to Dubai. If you have, send me a message here because I'm kind of curious if you have been to Dubai. Just send me a DM in Slack. And this is a little bit more about what we're doing. Dubai real estate is exploding. And the biggest money is being made where almost nobody is looking, in premium luxury transformation projects that have historically delivered 40 to 90% annual returns. That is incredible. For years, these opportunities were locked inside private networks. You never saw them. You never had access until now. I've spent 15 years on Wall Street and 5 years studying Dubai up close. And today, for the first time ever, you can invest directly alongside my team. We have just received a brand new project with real potential for outsized returns. And early allocations always fill fast. Click the link and apply now. Your opportunity starts today. All right, there you go, folks. A little bit more of a taste and some visuals as well. By the way, who here has been to Dubai? Can I just get a show of hands? It's not that many people, right? I think I did this on my last call earlier the week, and there weren't that many people as well. You got to come. I will say that I am not employed by the Dubai Tourism Board, but I will say that pretty much anybody who goes there, they sound like they're employed by the Dubai Tourism Board, because anybody who goes there, you end up everybody just sells each other on why this is a great place. And this is what happened to me the first few years I was there. Whether you're from any country, pick any country, they just go on and on about how this is a place that they prefer to be. So 40 to 90% returns, that's what we're seeing on these deals. And again, I worked on Wall Street for 15 years. You just don't really see these type of returns. Especially, you don't see them for anything that is secured by an actual piece of real estate via an SPV, which is a special purpose vehicle, and I'll talk about that shortly. Folks, this is a case study of one of those luxury redevelopments that was done on the Palm, that was done and completed about a year ago. And just to give you a rough idea, this is a kind of the type of deal we'll be investing in together. Acquisition price, they bought one of these plots of land with a house that had been built 20 years ago for about $7.1 million US dollars. They ended up with renovation and permit spending about $6.3 million, which meant the total investment cost was $13.4 million. They sold this house for $25.9 million, and it took them 12 months to do the whole process. Now, this is probably on the quick side. The other investments sometimes take 15 to 18 months. But again, that's a pretty fast turnaround time. But again, you're not doing anything structural. It's almost always cosmetic. We know exactly what to do. We go in with the highest end possibilities, and then we flip it. That project at a 93.8% return in 12 months. Now, look, it's not hard. It doesn't take an investment expert to realize if you put your money in a few of those over the next 2 and 3 years, not only will you double or triple your money, if you do 3 of those back to back, you'll actually 8x your money in 3 years because of compounding. So there is serious returns here if you end up reinvesting these proceeds over time. Folks, here's the big news. Dubai luxury property prices set to rise next year as the $10 million home sales surge 54% in Q3. There is a massive demand for these premium homes. There just is, because people want to get out of whatever situation they're in, and they want to move to Dubai because Dubai has no hassle, okay? There's no political risk. There's no politics. There's no war. There's no drama. There's no persecution. It's actually illegal to offend someone in Dubai. And so a lot of people say, oh, do they have religious tolerance? They have every single kind of tolerance, all right? If you raise your voice and swear at someone in Dubai, you better watch your back, brother, okay? Because you might, the unmarked policeman might jump out of the bushes and grab you, okay? And the truth is it just makes everybody nicer, all right? And when I walk down the streets there, it's a beautiful thing. And I'll be honest with you, I don't see liquor stores, and I don't see strip clubs, and I don't see homeless people, and I don't see drug addicts. And call me old-fashioned, that's fine. You can call me old-fashioned. But after being there for a month and not seeing any of that nonsense, you just start to relax a little bit. Also, you're not hearing about the political drama day in and day out in the place you're living. Oh, he said, she said this, the scandal this, they said they're going to do this. Who are you going to vote for this? Honestly, there's no politics there. It's one less thing to worry about. You can focus on your business, focus on your family, focus on your health. That's what people do there. And so it's just a different type of place. And every time there's a crisis around the world, everyone moves to Dubai. When COVID hit, they moved to Dubai because they weren't doing all the nonsense. When there was a war in Ukraine, everybody moved to Dubai. Russians, Ukrainians, you name it, right? War in Israel, everybody moved to Dubai. Everybody moves there. Taxes up in the UK, everybody moves to Dubai. So it's constantly getting an influx of people. You can see from this article that now Dubai outshines London, Miami, and Phuket. And again, Thailand is now considered a destination, for Europe. I know a lot of crypto bros who go to Phuket and they spend their time there. But the problem is that Dubai is not outshining that when it comes to the luxury real estate boom. And that doesn't surprise me at all. It really has everything in one. More headlines from residency visas to returns. This is why the luxury apartments are fueling the boom. And they make it easy to get there. One of my friends, I'll show you a picture of him soon. His name is Dr. Marwan Al-Zaruni. He gave me my 10-year golden visa. I love that I can be here really honest with all of you. He gave it to me. I didn't have to spend $500,000 on a property. He gave it to me. And I said, why are you doing this, doctor? And he said, Brian, because you are an asset to Dubai and the Emirates. And we really appreciate you being here and we want you to be here. And I'll be honest, I don't ever remember anyone in the UK government picking up a phone or sending me an email and saying, Brian, thank you for doing London Real. Thank you for running for mayor. Thank you for your contribution. Thank you for paying millions and millions and millions and millions of pounds of taxes when you worked in the city. Nobody ever said that, okay? And so there's something nice about being appreciated and about people trying to get your business. They run this country like a business. They understand you have choices. So why not come to a country where your taxes are zero, where crime is zero, where your family can be safe? When my boys are there, I mean, like, they don't, I'm just like, yeah, why don't you go down to the pool and come back and see me later? And Damon will look at me and be like, Dad, I'm 8. And I'm like, yeah, nothing bad's going to happen to you here. Like, nothing bad's going to happen. And that's something that they export and they're very proud of. Folks, here's another great headline. Dubai real estate sales passed $17.5 billion in November, and it's showing you the best performing areas in the projects. You can see the transactions jumped 30.9% in November. Strong demand across apartments and villas. This story is not going to stop. The global economy is booming, and the money is still going to keep going on here. The UAE is improving. It's just getting bigger and bigger and bigger, and they're making more and more and more developments. Folks, I want to share with you one of our latest deal. And if you find a way to join our investment circle, we can get you in on this deal, although the clock is ticking. I think there's 9 days left on this deal. There'll be a ticker on our website to show you. But this is the latest deal. It's actually in the hills. It's one of these kind of golf course developments with a lot of water around. And look, the people in the luxury space, they either want to be on the water or they want to be in a beautiful environment like this. Just depends on the vibe that you like. They have some amazing, beautiful places. And whether you play golf or not, it's nice to be around some greenery. This is a premium transformation project. We've got perfect timing on this one. It's filling quickly. It's a high demand location, and we're projecting between 60 and 80 and maybe even higher percent returns. So we can get you in on this right away. Once it's filled, but it's actually open right now. And look, folks, these returns are incredible. To have something secured with a piece of real estate, to have something in a special purpose vehicle, to have an investment that's audited by Ernst & Young, this is something special. And I'm very careful with what we do. And that's why when I saw these opportunities, I really wanted to give you the opportunity to join me and invest in these projects. Look, people have been asking me, how does London Real get access to these deals? And the truth is that these people are seeking us out because we bring something to the table that nobody else can. We bring a media platform with 1 billion views, 15 years of history, interviews with the greatest minds on the planet. And so they are searching us out to be a part of these deals. And because of that, I can give you access to things that normal people wouldn't get access to. So don't get it wrong. If you showed up in Dubai and started asking around, you would not get access to these deals. But if you come through me and come through London Real, we can get you access. And the truth is success is what happens when preparation meets opportunity. We've been doing this now for 15 years, putting out incredible media. We've been investing for 5 years, almost $25 million invested into businesses. And now people can see that we bring a great value proposition, a great group of people like yourselves, and great media exposure to their projects. I always love this Drake meme. And I know a lot of people have tried to invest in property on your own and you've gotten sick of it. Maybe you tried to become a landlord and you found yourself fixing toilets. Maybe you found yourself trying to find a new tenant when yours skips. Maybe you found that after you put your money in a property, there's actually no profit left. And you think, what the heck? This doesn't make any sense to me. And you know what? I would never want to do that either. I'm too busy. But imagine if that could all be handled for you. Imagine if you could buy a piece of a special purpose vehicle where everyone else is handling those things, it's audited, and yet it still owns the assets, and we can just pay you a return in 18 or 12 months' time. Well, that's what we're doing here. And so if you want access to that exposure, you can invest with myself in London Real. Folks, it's called the Luxury Property Investment Circle. And this is the landing page. If you go there right now, you can go to londonreal.tv/Dubai and you can apply. It takes actually about 60 seconds. We just want your name, your email, your phone number, a rough idea of how much you plan to invest, and then about 10 or 20 words of why you want to be a part of this. That makes a big difference to us because we want the right people here. And again, this is the most powerful money-making opportunity I've ever seen. And for a minimum of $10,000, although some people are putting in $50,000 or $100,000 per project, we're looking to make you 40 to 90% returns. Now, look, nothing is guaranteed, but like that's what we've seen in the past, and that is what we are shooting for. And of course, all you have to do is go to londonreal.tv/Dubai. The application form looks just like this: first name, last name, email, a rough idea of the amount you want to invest, and then 10 or 20 words on why you want to join the circle. Hit apply, and we'll be back to you within 24 hours. I read all of these personally, and if you join, you'll get a text message from me personally. And if you get one, that's actually from me. All right. So just be aware of that. This is something that I'm a part of, you're a part of, we're all going to be a part of. And of course, our next investment project is soon. I think this is actually closing in about 9 days. Folks, a lot of you know I ran to be mayor of London last year. And again, it was my second attempt to change this city because this city gave me back so much over the course of 20 plus years. You know, at the time, I was really standing for freedom of speech. I was also a big fan of the blockchain because I think it gives us freedom of finance. And I really pushed hard to make some changes in this city. Now, I wasn't elected, and that's okay. And we went on to spend the next 5 years investing into incredible blockchain deals, making a lot of my members millions and tens of millions of dollars. We've had really high returns on some of our projects. We've had 40Xs, 30Xs, 20Xs, 10Xs on people's money. And we've proven that we're very good when it comes to investing people's capital. But for me, it was obvious that maybe I was going to start spending more time in Dubai. And so here I am last year at our studio in Dubai. I call it London Real in Dubai. And here I am with my good friend, Dr. Marwan Al-Zaruni, the guy that gave me my golden visa. Our kids have actually played together and hung out together. It's always fun. He's a great guy. Obviously, he's a local Emirati. And he's always been a really good friend for me. And also very well plugged in the AI space and in the blockchain space as well. We've conducted probably 50 interviews there with a lot of people. This is Uni Wong. She's one of the biggest influencers in the crypto space. And this is Carl Moon, one of the early pioneers of Bitcoin, who's now a Bitcoin billionaire, started off as a grocery store clerk in Sweden. And this, of course, is my good friend, Chris MM Crypto, another Bitcoin billionaire who started as a taxi driver in Germany. And so these people come from humble beginnings, and by taking action, they created wealth for themselves. You can do the same. And that's the opportunity that we're offering here. By the way, all of those people live in Dubai because they see this as the place of the future. Chris actually just moved from Thailand. And I said, Chris, why'd you move there? He said, you know what, Brian? He said, in Thailand, he's like, I have everything I want. He said, but safety, I don't have the safety. You know, on the island I was at, he was like, people would get killed on my island. He's like, you know, I live on the Palm Jumeirah right now. Nobody gets killed on my island, you know? And so at the end, he just said, I'd rather have the safety. You know, that's what he said. And it totally made sense to me. Folks, we're currently investing over $3 million into the luxury refurbishment deals this quarter. And we're very excited to do this alongside of you. The allocations are going quick. The best deals go fast. So if you want access to that deal I mentioned earlier, and I might show you a few of those figures later, it's pretty hot, then you want to join as soon as possible. Folks, a lot of you know that we created London Real Ventures, which is the world's first media investment firm. And for the past 5 years, we created something that's never been done before in history. It's what happens when you take a media company with 1 billion views and 5 million subscribers, and you combine it with a venture capital company with $25 million in capital. You put these things in together and you get something that's never been done before, where you have money and media at the same time. What it does is it multiplies the possibilities and multiplies the returns. We were able to invest in over 100 of the hottest companies in AI, in blockchain, in crypto. And again, we've made millions and tens of millions of dollars for our investors along the way. So this is something we're no stranger to, right? We've been doing this for a long, long time. And so we're very good at taking people's capital and turning it into profits. One of the ways we do it is we invest alongside the biggest funds in the business. These are $10, $20 billion funds that we do deals with. And we're going to do the exact same thing in Dubai. When you deal with the big boys and the big girls, honestly, it's an easy way to make a lot of money, but they only want to deal with people that bring something to the table. We bring the media to the table. And of course, we've now invested over $23 million into over 100 different deals, and we're just going to keep going. By this time next year, when you include us continuing to invest in blockchain and our real estate portfolio, this will be over 50 million, maybe even more. And of course, I've been recognized recently. I was voted the best venture capitalist of the year by the DGen Summit and been given this award. It was great to get this, and just as a kind of a moment of congratulations and just being recognized in the industry at being good at what we do. Of course, the Global Family Office Investment Summit gave me a Lifetime Achievement Award for our media and our successful investments in the space. And of course, we're now known in the crypto space because we never back down from a fight. Of course, that's literally. Now, a lot of you saw me lacing up my gloves recently in Singapore and Dubai to fight some of these young crypto punks. And who knows, maybe there'll be a real estate fight club I can get involved as well and teach those kids some lessons. But you know what? We like to get in there and mix it up and let people know that we're in town and we're here to do some business. Folks, a lot of people are saying, how can we maximize our investment returns? And this is a great question because a lot of the members of our club started off with us in crypto. And now they're looking at these property investments and they're asking me, Brian, how do I decide between crypto and property? And it's a great question. And the truth is that Ray Dalio, considered one of the greatest investors of all time, says that diversification is the holy grail of investing. Let me repeat that again. Diversification is the holy grail of investing. And Ray Dalio actually mathematically proved that the more uncorrelated assets you invest in, the higher your returns there are over time. Does that make sense to everybody here? Laszlo, you probably heard of this before. Lauren and Andrew, you probably heard of this before. If I have something like oil or gold or real estate or a stock or a bond, all of these things are kind of different and uncorrelated. If I spread my portfolio across all of these over time, I make more money than I would have if I had just put it in one of those assets. It's less volatile and the returns are higher over time. And that's exactly why we're here, because this is a typical portfolio of one of the members of our group. And it's probably a portfolio that looks familiar. It's probably not that different from your dad's or your grandpa's or maybe even yours. You've got some in cash. In this case, it's about 15%. You've got some in stocks. In this case, about 15%. You've got some in fixed income, government bonds or corporate bonds, about 20%. You've got some in real estate, 30%. Maybe it's your own home. Maybe it's a second home. And of course, my members have about 20% of their wealth in crypto. All right. And so this is a typical portfolio. It's a nice balanced portfolio, and it just means if any one of these asset classes has a bad year, you're still okay. And it means over time, you're going to maximize these results. And so what I'm telling all of our people that are in blockchain with us is that this is a perfect complement to your investments in crypto. You're going to put it into luxury real estate and you're going to come along with that. And it's going to be a great, great long-term complement to the returns on your other pieces. And so for me, this is just an improvement in your crypto portfolio by investing in a real estate asset. Of course, we're choosing the best ones and the highest returns as well. And so again, 20% in crypto, 30% in real estate. It's up to you how you want to split it up, but I do recommend you diversify. I get some 25-year-old kids coming in saying, Brian, I got 100% in crypto. I don't think that's smart. Some people come in and say, Brian, I want to put 100% in this Dubai luxury real estate. No, don't do that. Put in 20%, put in 25%, 30%, spread it out. This is just intelligent investing. Folks, we believe the greatest way to predict the future is just to go out there and create it. A lot of people these days are getting scared. You're being told that we're in an AI bubble. You're being told that the economy is going down. You're being told that, here in the UK, the government is going to fail. The taxes are going too high. That communism is coming in New York City with the new mayor, Mamdani, right? At London Real, in the luxury property investment circle, we don't allow our brains to go there. What we do is simple. We say, you know what? We're going to create the future we want. What do we see? Incredible blockchain investments. Let's invest in those. What do we see? Luxury transformation projects. Let's invest in those. And come talk to me in 2 years and look at the amount of money we're making. And you'll still probably be complaining and whining and in fear of all the narratives that you're being told on social media and the news. That's just as bad. We will have turned it off and we will have got to work making money. And that's our mentality here. And if you like that, you should come along with us. Folks, this is Ben Bandari, and he believes that Dubai property is hot, all right? Now, Ben was connected with me by a former London Real guest, and not only is he the top real estate broker in Dubai, he actually is the star and the producer of $1 Million Listing UAE. Has anyone seen these shows, $1 Million Listing? There's one in New York, there's one in LA. You get these, high-flying brokers that go around and they sell these gorgeous properties. And then there's all this drama between them when they're trying to steal each other's deal and all this crazy stuff. Anyways, it's like the hit reality show. And Ben spent 5 years trying to bring this to the Emirates. And he tells me the story on the interview. I just spoke to him a few weeks ago in Dubai. And he said, Brian, I finally called up His Highness in Abu Dhabi. And he said, he called me back 15 minutes later. And I said, this is what we need to do. It's going to cost this. And he's like, I'm listening. And he made it happen. The second series has just premiered. And Ben has a lot to say. This is the poster for series 2. And you can see that this $1 Million Listing UAE season 2 lands. And again, it happens right as Dubai's record property boom is taking stage. And so I want to play with you a clip of me talking to Ben. Ben came from Toronto to Dubai about 20 years ago, back when Dubai was nothing, right? It was just a couple tall buildings and some sand. And he came out there and he decided that he was going to stay and make something of it. And this is what Ben told me when it comes to Dubai real estate.
How did Dubai become one of the top 5 real estate markets in the world?
There's many factors. The safety and the security is next level. You won't find it anywhere in the world. The leadership had a vision to basically attract foreign investment, bring basically expats here, and to basically expand the culture, the tourism, and the city itself. And they've done a great job. I mean, I've seen it all right from the beginning, from 2002 up until today. You have to come here, you have to see it, you have to experience it to believe it.
And we're seeing a lot of billionaires and a lot of other high net worth people bring their families here, invest in properties.
Everybody's looking to come here. Everyone's looking to move here. The money pours in because of the safety, because of the security, because of the stability.
Boom. I love Ben, and you can check his new series out. Season 2 is popping, and it's just getting all the eyeballs. It's got the big billboards in Dubai. And look, he is one of the guys to know. And, I'm talking to him about what we're doing here as well. So it's great to be super connected. I'm starting to meet a lot of the construction and real estate people there and the developers. And that's the whole idea. So we're plugged in so we can get the next hottest deal. Takeaways from Ben is number 1, Dubai has safety and security. That's really what people want, not only for their families and their well-being, but also for their investments. Number 2, the leadership attracts investment. I can't say enough about the leadership and vision of the royal family. They got a 100-year plan, unlike the 4-year plans that we see in our Western governments, and they come and they go. These guys got a 100-year plan, and guess what? If they screw it up, it's screwed up for their kids and their kids and their kids. In some weird way, they're more invested in the future than our so-called superior Western democratic institutions. Look, I ran to be mayor of London, and one thing I concluded was this. Everything I would have accomplished as mayor, and it would have been a lot, would have been taken credit for by the mayor after me. Because everything I would have done in 4 years, nothing can actually happen. You have to wait another 4 or 6 years after that. So almost by definition, the things you're doing is going to be taken credit of by somebody else, which is one of the reasons that no one ever does anything in government, because you can't get it done fast enough, and nobody has any interest in a long-term vision because they have no ownership of that vision. I think there is something fundamentally flawed in these governments, but when you see Dubai do it, you're like, wow, this definitely is the future. Again, you'll hear me say this over and over again, 0 personal taxes. It's hard to stress how powerful that is. And of course, we know it's the playground for the wealthy. So why not build something they want? That's exactly what we're doing. So how do we create outsized returns in real estate? It's probably what everyone's asking me. It's all about deal flow. All right. You've got to be in at the right deal, at the right place, at the right time. If you don't have those, then you could be sitting on something mediocre, or worse than that, something that's just not a very good deal with not very good partners. And so what I've been doing for the past few years is spending my time with people that can source deals for us. I've been traveling there for 5 years. I know members of government. I know CEOs. I know influencers. I know people that own these luxury villas. I know billionaires, decabillionaires. I even know a centibillionaire. And so I know all these people that play in these circles. And I've been spending my time dealing with these people. That's CZ in the middle. I think he's worth about 100 billion. I'm on stage interviewing people. I'm building the relationships from the ground. And a lot of the people that I know from that time are actually moving into Dubai. And so being there on the ground is how we make this happen. I don't know about you, but I think relationships are built the old-fashioned way, in person and one at a time. And that's what I've been doing the last few years, just traveling the world and talking to people and building the relationships so we can find the deals that are going to make you millions of dollars. And that's what really gets me excited, making my members wealthy. That is fun. Folks, how do you win in this space? You have to invest with the best. What does that mean? Well, that means the hottest deals out here. And there's a little bit of a snapshot of maybe our current deal that we're working on, our villa valuation. And you can see on that circle there some of the potential returns depending on a low, medium, or a high value exit price. And folks, these are no joke, all right? These are huge numbers we're talking about. Finally, you have to understand the financial tools. This is important. And the key structure here is something called an SPV. An SPV stands for a special purpose vehicle. What it does is it holds a property inside its own standalone legal entity, okay? So the owners directly control the assets while you also isolate the risks from your personal wealth, right? You have no personal liability. It's all handled inside this kind of shell company. It's a ring-fence structure, and it has stronger legal protection, better tax treatment, and of course, easier financing than a partnership or an individual. This is crucial. This is, by the way we've done every single one of our crypto deals as well. We got over 100 of these SPVs. We're really good at them, and they're cost effective, and they're the way of the future. Again, you get this audited by Ernst & Young, and you've got something that's clean, that's safe, that's secure, that can pay you those returns back with no liabilities and no nonsense. And that's why I like it. Folks, how do you create generational wealth? You got to pull the trigger. If you want to sit on the sidelines and watch all of your friends get wealthy, or watch people go online get wealthy, or watch, the members of my London Real Investment Club get wealthy with their crypto deals, you can. But the only way to actually do this is to pull the trigger. I always tell people, put $10,000 in a deal and watch what happens. If we come back and give you a 40, 50, 60, 70, 80, 90% return, you'll be like, okay, Brian, I like it. Let's let that roll and put another 50 in. Great. Let's put another 100 in. Great. But you got to pull the trigger. You can't watch another video or read another book or, listen to another podcast. There's something about taking action that gives you that real touch of whether something's real or not. I know that. That's what all of my mentors taught me, from Kiyosaki to Cardone to Pena. They said, Brian, pull the damn trigger. Stop sitting on the sidelines. Stop being a little, scared, whatever they called me that day. Pull the trigger and take some action. Why timing matters. If you wait, you're going to miss this, period. SPVs cannot expand once they're filled. I can't add a little bit more. This isn't like a blockchain deal. Early investors get priority. The earlier you get in, the quicker you get to see the deals. These deals are going to close fast. We had one guy the other day say he wants 100 grand of the deal. We only had 300 grand in the deal. It could be closed in 24 hours. And once allocations are gone, they're gone from that project. You saw the numbers on that previous project. I don't know if the next project is going to look as good. It might not. So you want to take advantage of this while we have it. Again, this is for serious investors, right? This isn't for people that just want to screw around. It's for people who want access, not theory. I'm not here to teach you a course about real estate. I'm here to make you a lot of money on real estate deals, all right? At the end of the day, you want assets, not speculation. You want audited outcomes. We want everything by the book here, right? All the I's dotted, the T's crossed. You want transparency. I want to see exactly what's going on with the funds, and I want to see them come right to my account. And you want access to real opportunities on the ground. And that's why I'm going to be there for the next 4 months of the year to make sure I'm on the ground. By the way, we're going to have updates. You're going to watch these things happen in front of your eyes. I think we're even going to have 24-hour webcams on these projects, and you can literally watch this thing transform. It's going to be amazing. And I'll be honest with you, I'm going to use my own social media to sell the projects and get us an even higher yield. So by doing this with London Real, we're actually going to make you more money because of our social platforms. If you apply now, you can join us. Again, it's a private membership. It gets you these premium opportunities. It's a chance to build real wealth, and you can get in for as little as $10,000. I wanted to make it to where the average person could do it, but I also want to make it to where anybody can come in and say, I'll take 100K of that as well. We do the same in the investment club. You can go small, you can go big, depending on who you are or how you're doing in this cycle. Lastly, our membership is strong. We've got 150 people that are already investing capital and have done this for the past 5 years. They've made a ton of money, right? And I'll be sharing more of their stories as we go along. This is Carol. She always likes to stress that every member is both a learner and an investor. We're here to give you the opportunities, but we're also here to educate you along the way and to get you on the ground. By the way, on April 27th of next year, I'm having a Dubai Investor Day where you can come to Dubai and come with me and visit the sites you've invested in, visit the new potential neighborhoods, and hang out with me and learn why I love this place so much. This is Chris. He said the deal flow is beyond what I expected. Joining was the best decision I ever made. What we try to do is make each one of our members happy and give them the deals that'll change their lives. And of course, this is Yvette. She's a single mom with 4-year-old twins. If she can do it, you can do it. This doesn't mean you have to be a sophisticated investor. All you have to do is understand what we're doing, trust London Real, trust the process, and start small. That's what I tell everybody. Folks, I would say apply now before this latest allocation goes. This deal is great. Honestly, I wanted to kick off with the hottest deal I saw. I actually waited about 3 months until this deal came up. And then I thought, you know what? Let's front load this with the hottest deal possible. But you're going to miss it unless you apply now. So get in now. This deal is closing. I think we've got 9 days left. Future wealth creation is here. It's going to be my mission. And again, you can invest alongside the smartest money in the business. If you go to londonreal.TV/Dubai or Dubai MC, which means you came from this class, it always helps that we can know that. Then you can apply. It takes 30 seconds. I'll review it personally. We work 24/7 here, 365, and I'll get back to you. And we're just pumped here. Again, I'm leaving in 18 days. I'll be on the ground and I'll be sourcing deals. If you follow me on social media, on all my channels right now, you're just going to see Brian and a whole lot of luxury property. Right? You're going to see that. So just open your eyes. And again, it's the most powerful money-making opportunity I've ever seen. And I've seen them all over the world for the last 3 decades. And this is hot. Ooh, I think that's it, folks. I think that's it. Folks, I'd love to answer any questions. Was that helpful to everybody here? Laszlo, did you learn something? Mark, Lauren, Patrick, I hope you did. Folks, please drop me a chat or message here if you've got any questions as far as next steps or what you want to do. We're obviously here to answer questions for you and help you in any way, shape, or form. The best way to do is just go to londonreal.tv/Dubai. And I think we'll stick it in the chat here right now. And give me your application. That's the best thing to do. And from there, I'll evaluate it. And if we like what you're saying and we want you in, we'll accept you. I recommend you get in that first deal as soon as possible. We want to close this in the next 9 days. And then we just want to make it happen from there. And so that's it, folks. I think that's it. If you have any questions, hit me up. Also, I always tell people, if you want to ask me a direct question, send me a message at brian@londonreal.tv, and it'll go personally to me, and I can reply with a message. And there's the website link that is there, but I think you saw it all over the presentation as well. That's it, folks. I hope we see you on the inside. Thank you so much for being here. All right. And we'll see you, hopefully, in Dubai. Bye, everybody. Thanks. The mass scale transformation of humanity, the fully empowered, conscious, and cooperative species. It's something we live and breathe. We have a mission here. We want to help build the decentralized finance infrastructure of the future. What is your mission?
Hey, it's Brian Rose from London Real. How would you like to join my investment club, where I teach you everything you need to know about early stage token and equity investments? Look, right now is one of the greatest times to invest in human history. We've got AI happening. We've got the metaverse that we built on AI, and all of this needs the blockchain, which is what we specialize in here. In my investment club, it's a 12-month program, 3 months of coursework where I teach you all the basics. I want to talk about how capital isn't enough, and I want to talk about how you can upgrade your arsenal of influence in a variety of ways. I teach you how to do basic due diligence. I teach you how to go to a conference and come back with 10 deals. Just go in, bam, 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 bam. This is super exciting, and we're able to do this here at London Real because I speak with some of the greatest guests on the planet. We have an amazing network, and we also have a structure to actually invest money in these deals. Just as a strategy in your business, just keep it simple, especially the first time you do it, but do it at the same time. I'm telling you, this is an incredible opportunity. I've got the best community in the business right now, 75 people from around the world in over 20 countries that are alongside, all investing together. And you can learn and network with the best in the business. No decision is much worse than a no. Something, action, action, action. The clock is ticking. If you're interested in this, click a link below and set up a call with one of my team. They'll walk you through what's happening, the opportunities, the requirements. But I plan on working with this group for the next 10 years, and we're going to do massive things here. And I hope you are a part of it. Click on the link and let's do this. The mass scale transformation of humanity, the fully empowered conscious and cooperative species. It's something we live and breathe. We have a mission here. We want to help build the decentralized finance infrastructure of the future. What is your mission? Hey, it's Brian Rose from London Real. How would you like to join my investment club, where I teach you everything you need to know about early stage token and equity investments? Look, right now is one of the greatest times to invest in human history. We've got AI happening. We've got the metaverse that we built on AI, and all of this needs the blockchain, which is what we specialize in here. In my investment club, it's a 12-month program, 3 months of coursework where I teach you all the basics. I want to talk about how capital isn't enough, and I want to talk about how you can upgrade your arsenal of influence in a variety of ways. I teach you how to do basic due diligence. I teach you how to go to a conference and come back with 10 deals. Just go in, bam, 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 bam. This is super exciting, and we're able to do this here at London Real because I speak with some of the greatest guests on the planet. We have an amazing network, and we also have a structure to actually invest money in these deals. Just as a strategy in your business, just keep it simple, especially the first time you do it, but do it at the same time. I'm telling you, this is an incredible opportunity. I've got the best community in the business right now, 75 people from around the world in over 20 countries that are alongside, all investing together. And you can learn and network with the best in the business. No decision is much worse than a no. Something, action, action, action. The clock is ticking. If you're interested in this, click a link below and set up a call with one of my team. They'll walk you through what's happening, the opportunities, the requirements. But I plan on working with this group for the next 10 years, and we're going to do massive things here. And I hope you are a part of it. Click on the link and let's do this.